Welcome to the Charley King Show, Bluebell Talks, and I am so excited to be supported by Hummingbird Nest Ranch.
The Charley King Show, Bluebell Talks. Come on in, let the whole room talk. The Charley King Show, Bluebell Talks. We learn your life, then we sing it back. The Charley King Show, Charley King Show, Bluebell Talks. Big heart, big dreams, and a little bit of sparkle. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of the Charley King Show. Today, I'm excited to welcome Julie Roth Novack, CEO and founder of PartySlate, a photo-rich platform where event professionals can showcase their work, connect to clients, and get their best content in front of the right audience. Julie brings over 25 years of digital marketing experience, including work with Fortune 500 brands. With new photo management tools, Canva integration, PartySlate makes it easier for pros to organize, search, and share their best content. And trust me, I am obsessed with the new tools. Direct from Chicago, welcome to the show, Julie.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a huge fan,
Oh.
and we have a great history together. Our LA event that we were just talking about that you produced was one of my favorites. I will
Aw.
never forget old Hollywood themed event, and this star right behind me that I framed is a memory at our office of that fantastic event.
That makes me so happy. I loved those stars. It was really fabulous to have them in the carpet with all the vendors' names in when guests arrived. And
It was so dramatic and it was beautiful, and I don't think we've ever had a red carpet entrance like that before. So it was just really meaningful for me.
oh, I'm so glad. That was your 7th anniversary.
It was. And
Yeah.
it was just to be out to the rooftop overlooking LA. It was just stunning.
It was. And I got to fulfill my Hollywood dreams with all the
Yes.
dancers
Yes.
it was so much fun. So that was your 7th anniversary. So you're now 11 years in?
Yes, we are going on our 11th year and started the company I officially started in 2015. We launched in 2016. So we're kind of 10, 11 years in, and to the growth that we've seen over the last few years has just been amazing as we've shifted from kind of this pure marketplace where people can find venues and planners and caterers to providing more tools, efficiency tools, leveraging AI to help event professionals organize, share, and store their huge library of professional photos that we like to call your marketing gold. I mean, they're so gorgeous, and yet there's not enough hours in the day to get it all out on Instagram. So how do you leverage this content in your day-to-day meetings that you have, your venue tours? We're trying to put your photos at your fingertips. So anything, in your head, you did a beautiful red carpet event, and you can put in red carpet, and every red carpet photo you've ever shot in your entire career is going to show up on your fingertips. So that's kind of phase 2 of PartySlate.
For me, it's such a fantastic tool, and I know there's so many planners are loving it. To have this, to see where PartySlate started and to see where it is now, how much it's grown. And I love that you're all about education, and I love that. Even though I've been doing this 19 years, I love to learn, I love to educate, and I listen to all your webinars because, AI it's not a hard thing to learn, but it's a new tool to learn, and it's changing the way that the industry is working right now. And
It really is. And I think some people are embracing it. There's always that 5-10%. Some people are like kind of dabbling, and other people are,
full in.
I think, shut down and a little, it reminds me when social media came up. It reminds me on the mobile phone. It's new, but I want people to know that AI is not something to be scared of. It's something to embrace and learn, just like you're learning a new language. Learning the language of AI is really going to help your business. And I tell people, just start small with a chat GPT and prompting it in new ways to make your processes more efficient. and then start thinking about bigger things you can do, and don't feel like you have to do it overnight. You just got to put your toe in the water.
Yeah. And it takes time. I remember
It does.
I was at the David Tuteri experience and I was talking, which was really lovely. But Angela from Wedlux was there and she gave a whole tour on like Midjourney and Discord. And I'd never heard of that before. And so I videoed everything that she was saying. And then I went home and I literally learned it step by step, press play. I have to do this. Next step, I have to do that. Once you get it into your body, it's like the tools on PartySlate. Once you understand how Photo Hub works and how that integrates into Canva, it's a game changer.
It really is. And I think the Canva integration, our philosophy is you are so busy with events. Like it's like, like your background, putting on a Broadway show, every single weekend, if not more than one every weekend. So our goal is to fit our product into your workflow. So when we built Photo Hub, which is, imagine a beautiful AI-driven Dropbox for all your photos, we're like, well, wait a second. Canva is the leading tool of the industry. Yeah. Let's integrate our Photo Hub and our AI tagging directly into Canva. So basically what you can do is you can use that tagging easily in your templates, your proposals, your mood boards, and find those perfect photos that you have, and then you don't have to download it and then re-upload it into Canva. So we really want to save you time.
Yeah, it's all there on the side in Canva because I use Canva for my mood boards and I literally go, oh, I need this picture. I know where that is because we don't want to use anybody else's work from Pinterest or anything when we do our mood boards. I want to use Discord and Midjourney to imagine it and have that photo in there and then go to events that, we have done. And they just slide them on over into Canva. And it's, in the middle of a conversation with a bride, if I'm on Zoom, whatever, it's there. It's so easy to find. You just pull it up. And
absolutely.
All my hundreds of thousands of photos are stored on your Photo Hub. So
we love it. And what we've decided to do is not charge like Dropbox or other digital asset management tools by volume. We don't charge to add additional, like let's say you're a social media person. We want as many people to see the value out of PartySlate as possible because we think this tool is so new and so innovative. So we want to drive as many users as possible. We don't want to add any gating that's going to like, oh, should I add my social media person or should I not? We say if you have 10 people, if you have 20 people, they can all have access to your Photo Hub and you control it as the administrator. So we make it very secure. It's private, 100% private. You have a celebrity event. You've got a customer like Google where you can't share things. You still want to be able to access those photos privately, not on your public PartySlate page. And again, we started with the public side because we wanted people to be able to review your portfolio. You've got your website, you've got your Instagram, you've got your PartySlate profile. Those three things they can kind of triangulate on. Could I see myself working with this person enough so at least to take a meeting or a Zoom or a coffee? That was our initial goal. But then we realized, wow, there's 90% of the content that isn't on your public profile, but you also want to have it at your fingertips. And so that's really the insight that led to Photo Hub, which we launched last year. And now we have about 300-400 pros accessing Photo Hub every single week to really drive more engagement, leveraging your photo portfolio. So I'm really excited about saving time for people, overworked, understaffed teams that need to get docs out, that need to get mood boards out, that need to, what was that ice sculpture you did for that corporate event? I want to see that. Whatever it is, AI, computer vision, tagging has changed the world of marketing and it's never going back. So there's never going to be a day where you're like doom scrolling for that photo, that poolside reception. All you have to put is pool, and every pool photo you've ever shot is going to show up.
It is total game changer. And for people that are just, learning about PartySlate, may not have heard about it before, new people coming into the industry, vendors, venues, can you give us like your 30-second elevator pitch that would,
I will give it to you. Yes.
Describe PartySlate to them?
One thing I like to share is a little bit about the founding story is when I started PartySlate, I was your client. So I wasn't an event professional. I ran a big digital agency. I was at a technology company, and I believed in the power of events, recruiting, client sales incentive trips, I probably hosted 50 large scale events over my 20 years in the tech and digital world. And I kept wondering, being this digital person, why there wasn't something for me in these events I was planning. There were mass market kind of wedding blogs out there, but there wasn't anything for me. And I was doing fundraising and things on the side. I've just always believed in the power of events. And I used a website called Houzz, Houzz, to redesign my kitchen. And it felt like lightning struck when I saw these photo-rich platform profile pages for kitchen designers, for landscapers. I just felt like, oh my God, what if I had something like this for these events I was planning, so that I could look at all these venues, look at these caterers before I reached out, almost like a LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And I started dreaming out loud for probably 3 or 4 years before I got the courage. I put 52 versions of my business plan together.
Oh my God.
Before I got the courage, my husband's like, Julie, you got to do this. I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this. So I left behind my big corporate executive tech job, and I raised $1 million of friends and family money in about 6 months, brought on my tech co-founder, John Harrow. We hired about 3 people. We went to a tech incubator in Chicago called 1871. And the original vision was creating a marketplace, a place where event professionals and venues could share their professional photo portfolios and get exposure, get new business, and also use it as a sales tool. Really in North America, starting in the US. So we started in Chicago, then we went to LA and Dallas, New York. We're now a globally scaled company, but about 90% of our customer base is here in the United States. And we started with this vision. So imagine, instead of going to a Yelp, imagine it a high-end kind of Mercedes version of Yelp for the events industry. And we're really require professional photos. So this isn't a do-it-yourself platform. The backyard barbecues are great. And I just did one for graduation. They're great, but they're typically not shot by a professional photographer. So really our focus is on professionally, shot photos and videos that can showcase your capability as a planner, your capability as a caterer, and the amazing transformation of your event spaces as a venue with your professional photos. So PartySlate connects people planning events of all kinds, weddings, corporate gala, mitzvah, baby showers, anything you can imagine, with leading event professionals and venues across the country. We are starting to do more overseas now in Italy and London, but we're really focused on U.S. couples, U.S. corporations looking to plan events either here or around the world.
How does it feel when you started this company, being a female CEO, like raising all that money? What were the biggest challenges that you faced while you were trying to build this tech company?
It was quite challenging. So about 97% of venture capital money goes to men, companies led by men. So 3% go to women. And I think part of the problem starts with the venture capitalists being mainly men. And I'm excited to see more and more women moving into venture capital. When I talk to young people that are interested in finance, I really, really encourage them to look into venture capital. It's fast moving. You get to learn about different companies. And it's early stage investing where if you invest in 100 companies, only 3 or 4 of them are going to really make it big. And so it's a little bit more, it's risky money. So therefore, it's a long view, a 10-year time horizon for a return on a venture-backed business. And so it was challenging. I had a couple of men, even men that I knew from my network, say, Julie, you have 3 kids. Do you really want to do this? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
wow.
What? If I was a man, would anyone have said that?
Yeah.
And I said to them, you know what? I'm passionate about this. I have the experience. And, I did, you have to be a little careful on, burning bridges, because this is someone I actually knew from the industry. But how dare he say that to me?
Yeah.
Sheryl Sandberg talks about, the question, how do you do it all? How often does my husband, who worked at Google for 15 years, ask, how do you do it all? We do it the same way as men do it. We are efficient. It takes a village. We get help, and we are great role models for our kids.
Yeah. I think that's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship. What was the biggest thing that surprised you while you were doing this, apart from people saying, what are you doing?
I think the amount of things that can go wrong when you start your own business is why I think the number one trait of an entrepreneur has to be resilience and followed by passion. If you don't have resilience, like a year and a half of COVID, things that happen with employees, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. But if you're passionate about your vision and you have resilience and you just dust yourself off each time you get knocked down, you have a very good shot, because it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think a lot of people think with tech companies like overnight success with Mark Zuckerberg type people, where they're 19 in the Harvard dorm room starting a company. The vast majority of companies are started by people in their 30s and their 40s that have experience and that can really weather the storms that come with starting your own company. So I think it didn't surprise me, but I think it reiterated why out of 100 companies, only 3 to 5 actually make it from the early stage.
Wow.
Is because a lot of things are going wrong. So if you're starting a company because you think it's AI and it sounds cool, that is not enough. You have to have a passion around the problems you are solving, the solutions you're providing, and you have to have resilience. So when you meet with 30 venture capitalists and 28 of them are going to say no, you pick yourself up and you keep going till you get the yes. That is the kind of resilience you need. And I'm just really passionate about this industry, about helping small businesses, and about the amazing women that run a lot of this industry. So many women, female-founded companies, from these large-scale catering companies to planning, great women executives in the venues and the hotels that we're working with. Of course, I love men too, but I love seeing strong female leaders in this industry, and that keeps me going too.
That's what I find so exciting as well. Like, this industry is full of strong, passionate women and men. But I love that, and I see people. I'm going to give a shout out to our friend Jen Gould, the designer in New York, who we both adore. There she is, kicking ass and just making these huge projects work. And I love that, and I love supporting those strong and independent entrepreneurial women. It's hard, and it's no one says, oh, here's a blueprint, this is how you do it, follow this. It's all trial and error. And it's, as you say, if you are new and you're wanting to start a business, there's so much that can go wrong and so many no's, and you just have to have a thick skin and dust yourself off.
You have to have a very thick skin, and you have to stay focused on your Northern Star. And I always tell people, and any of your listeners that want this, write your business plan down. Write your mission and vision. With AI tools, you can do it. Keep it up to date, with 30 minutes of time of prompting with ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever tool you use, or Claude. And I have a template, honestly, you can put it in the show notes. I'm happy to share it. A template to really keep you focused on your annual objectives and your key results. What are the things you want to do? Say no to anything that takes you away from that Northern Star. Say yes to all the things that will move you closer to what you want to accomplish. Even launching a new podcast like this, just keeping really laser focused on the how you're going to differentiate yourself, what you want to accomplish Q1, Q2, Q3, and writing those things down. I think gives you a 50% more chance of success, maybe even more, of really hitting the goals, building the business of your dreams.
It is hard. And when I started Bluebell Talks back in the pandemic, which is where all this stemmed from, I wanted to do a podcast. And it was like, obviously getting the courage up to like, well, how do I do that? And then, I was just given the advice of just do it. Just jump in, figure it out, find the right studio, find the right people behind you, and just do it. And that's the only way you can. And that's how I've kind of lived my life, of just make it happen, because no one else is going to make it happen for you. You have to make it happen for yourself.
And what I love about your background, being in the theater world, is you see how a production comes to be. And you get that view of, it's not just the show, it's the raising the money, it's the production, it's the marketing of the tickets, it's everything that comes, the staffing, the personalities, and yet the show must go on, right? All the things that happen. And I think that builds great resilience and experience for the planning that you're doing, and also this podcast. Not many people have your background. And I think the training ground that you had from that experience positions you and really differentiates you, because I bet you there's nothing that can hit you. They're like, hey, the show goes on, right? Like you will make it work.
I've been thrown on for the leading lady role, in 5 minutes into a show, and they're like, change your costume, you're going on. And, you just have to like do it, and that's how I approach my productions, because they are productions, is from the mindset of a director and a producer. And it's what I'm trying to change the word wedding planner, because even though we are wedding planners, we're really wedding producers. So
I agree. And I think people don't understand in the entertainment world what a producer does. I think they understand the director and the producer. They think, oh, that's just the money. I'm like, no, it is way more than money. It's the CEO of the production. And I agree. I think producer is a much better term. The challenge is I don't think people understand what a producer does. So
yeah. And then there is a place for the wedding. I feel there's a wedding coordinator, there's a wedding planner, there's a wedding producer, and a wedding designer. Those for me are like the 4 things. And I think it just depends on like the level of where your weddings are that you do. And when you're producing these high-end luxury weddings that we do, then you're in the producer, the production world, where you are like, say when you're building your house, you're managing 20 vendors. We're managing 20, 30, 40 vendors. And now you're in a production.
General contractor, the architect,
now
all those
you're
things.
Producing.
And how people get along and the vision coming together. It's, we do about 12 events for, PartySlate customers and prospects. And, we added this, hour and a half of education to all of our events, which has been really great, but it's almost like sub-producing different parts of the event. So it's the education, moving into cocktails, moving into the evening networking. And I can only imagine your 3-4 day events that I'm like, oh my God, I don't think I would be in a great position to do those. I would be too anxious.
We love it. I don't know. I think we're adrenaline junkies. That's the only way I can think about it. It's like waiting in the stage, waiting to go on, and you've got butterflies and you think, I'm going to throw up. That's, that's kind of like it is the night before a massive event. You're like, oh my gosh. But everything is planned, everything is ready to go, and you just step out there and hope the words come out, and then you just hope that everything just fits beautifully together. That's
Well, seeing you in action with our event I admire you so much. With all the different, everyone wants to showcase to the industry what they can provide, and really managing it to this vision of that night. And I just felt like the magic in the air. I don't know how to explain it. And that goes back to you and your leadership. So
thank you.
I really admire you.
Julie, thank you. It's all about energy. That's it. It's feeling the energy in the room, knowing when, okay, bring the dancers on. I know we need to move on to that, because I can feel it's a weird thing. I don't know why. I just it's all energy for me. Well, it's the energy of the event and making it memorable, and you just do a great job with all the senses. It's everything from the food to the music, and you really brought in the lighting is so important. Lighting is number one.
It is, and I'm the person that goes into a room like at my friend's house. I'm like, oh, it's way too bright in here, and like dims it. It's so important to have great lighting and accent lightings, and I just think that event, and I obviously know your portfolio as well, it's so important to bring that together.
It is. And it's hard to teach people about production lighting, and I really want planners to lean on the lighting companies to really teach how to light a production properly, because they're not always all done correctly and properly. And you walk into a room and you're like, okay, well, I'll stay 20 minutes, and then because there's no drama, there's no excitement. There's no mood.
You need the excitement, the mood. It just makes a huge, huge difference. And I think, tying PartySlate back to events, building a roadmap and a plan for, a technology company is actually not that dissimilar from producing a large scale event. So a vision for an event comes into being after interviewing your customer and your client and really understanding what are their goals if it's a corporate event, what is the mood if it's family memories, what is that engaged couple's vision, and it's taking that and then prioritizing it into a plan and then actually executing on that plan. And so what we do to inspire our roadmap, what we're building is we really talk to customers a lot. So we're talking, we went to the Chicago Hilton, which is, all the big galas in Chicago are at the Hilton. It's a large scale, beautiful ballroom. And we sat with the venue manager and the coordinator and the team. And we actually walked through their entire process of, a lead coming in, how it flows through and how they create that initial meeting, how they customize using PartySlate photo boards from Photo Hub to create a customized tour. And all those tools that we built were based on these insights that we got from hundreds and hundreds of meetings and interviews and Zooms and day-to-day insights we get from our customers. And then we can't build everything all at once, just like for an event you can't do everything. So you're constantly making trade-offs, like what is the most important thing, what's going to save Charley the most time when she's got a very complicated meeting and she needs to pull up those photos and she needs to be ready with photo boards. How are we going to save time for you and how are we going to make it a magical experience? And that's how we create our roadmap based on those insights.
You are listening to The Charley King Show. My guest today is Julie Roth Novack, the creator of PartySlate. We will be right back with this conversation after a few words about my amazing sponsor, Hummingbird Nest Ranch. Hummingbird Nest Ranch has a legendary past and an even more exciting future. Nestled in the stunning Santa Susana Mountains of California, this iconic property is back under passionate new ownership, being restored as the luxury destination wedding venue it was always meant to be. Their team brings over 30 years of hospitality experience, deep marketing expertise, and the financial commitment to make Hummingbird Nest Ranch everything it's ever dreamed of being. And while their long-term vision stretches towards a world-class spa and resort, today their singular focus is on you and making sure every event at Hummingbird Nest Ranch is nothing short of extraordinary. Because there, 110% isn't a goal, it's the only standard they accept. And now let's jump back into the conversation with Julie Roth Novack. Tell us about the photo boards that are within Photo Hub.
Yeah, so as I was explaining earlier on, how we come up with what we build on our roadmap, we take all these insights from customer meetings. We call it voice of the customer. So every 2 weeks, we're going to meet with hotels and planners and caterers and understanding how they sell, what tools they use, and how we can be helpful during the sales process so you can close faster and close more often. And so what we built was this really great, easy to use tool within Photo Hub called Photo Boards. So in addition to your albums that you have that you can search with our AI search, let's say you're doing a tour with a corporate activation client, which is very different than a gala, very different than a wedding. And you want to showcase your venue, you want to showcase your experience on doing really amazing brand activations and how your brand can come to life. You can actually click on those photos you have of brand activations, whether it's a champagne cart or whether it's really cool branding and signage that really shows off, what this product is. You can put that into a photo board, which is shareable either in advance of the meeting or during the meeting. And very, very in seconds, you'll have a custom experience to share as opposed to doing real-time search, which you can also do. You can actually build these photo boards in advance. And a great example is a venue could have a beautiful tour of their grand ballroom, but for a gala client versus a wedding. So then you can have, here's where the silent auction is, here's where the reception is, here's where the keynote speaker is, here's how the stage activates for the moment of the giving and the charitable contributions. You can really bring it to life for your specific client. And it's easy if you've used Apple Photos and you've created a shared album, it's as easy as creating a photo board in seconds. You can do it 20 minutes before the meeting. You can do it after the meeting and send it to the client. It's a very, very simple, elegant way to share a custom experience and tell your story through your photos. And it is the most common, in addition to Canva, which we talked about earlier,
Yeah.
it's the most common use case is these photo boards. And what we're learning now is organizing these photo boards. So for example, right now you can just put them all in a link. They're always permanent, ready for you to go. You can edit. We want to create a way for you to easily, hey, these are my photo boards for galas, for corporate, for wedding, or these are my elegant, luxury, large scale events. These are my small, intimate events. We want to make it easier so that you can access those photo boards within seconds, right? Either from your phone or your computer or your iPad.
That's a game changer.
It
Time.
is. It's so exciting because I've wanted to do this, Charley, for so long.
Yeah.
And the fact that it came to life, like in really first quarter of this year,
Yeah.
is so amazing.
You've really helped the industry in the 11 years that you've been doing this. You've really grown the industry, and we're all learning so much from you. How do you see AI changing the industry in like the next 5 years going forward?
Yeah, I think what I'm really excited about is, generative AI. And when I say generative AI, it's making images from your current photos. So I think there's two important aspects to getting credibility with a client. One is, have you done this before? Do you have something similar to give yourself credibility? Because I think it can't all be AI. You have to have the goods to support your reputation. And Instagram and others have been a little bit, hey, if you're going to post something AI, which we welcome, make sure you label it as AI.
Yeah.
You also have to show you have that experience. So Photo Hub is really there with AI auto tagging. The old days of interns like tagging wedding aisle or tagging pink, or those are done. Like there's no longer any need to do alt tagging, which used to be a big thing for SEO.
Yeah.
We have created an AI auto tag system so that if there is a tuna taco or a ice sculpture or a beautiful purple lit event, all of those things are going to come back in your search results because of the AI tagging that we're doing on our side. But I'm also excited, Jen Gould, we talked about earlier, and other people that are doing generative AI comps to help inspire ideas. And I think in the old days, it was, $20,000 to hire someone to do 3D imaging and scaling of what this event could look like. And there's always room still for those professionals.
Yeah.
But now people like you and I, and designers we're working with, can throw together ideas in a matter of hours or minutes that used to take days to concept.
Yeah.
And I think helping a client envision what something could look like is part of the challenge of getting them to enroll in the vision you have. Of course, your vision's based on what they're looking for, but they're not professionals at events. And so I think generative AI, and there's many tools you mentioned earlier that can help you with that. Claude, ChatGPT, Midjourney. There's so many tools out there that you could even put a former event in there and slightly change it. You can change the colors to pink. You can add a bar somewhere else. It's becoming more accessible for not only event professionals, but also your customers to come in with a vision for what they want to do.
Yeah. I know it's completely changed the way that I do my mood boards, and it's just, I feel like it's elevated you. And then I feel like we have to keep going with the times and changing and growing. And I'm excited to see where this is going to go in 5-10 years. Although I don't think you can ever replace the connection that a wedding planner gives. I don't think, AI is not going to replace your wedding producer or your wedding planner. You're still going to need that. But I think it's going to really help elevate us going forward.
I always give the example of my kitchen and using House and all the tools now, AI tools you have for redesigning your home and your kitchen and all that. You still have to have someone that actually knows what is possible and knows where the plumbing is and knows where this is. And cannot build an event to actual specifications without knowing the exact details of where everything is, what will work, what is even possible. There's some venues that can't have ceiling decor. They just can't have it. So I think there's always room for a planner to drive the event. There's always room for human touch.
Yeah.
The difference is, I believe the planners and the venues that embrace AI will have a competitive advantage because they'll be able to really sell their vision in a better way, a stronger way, and they'll save time so they can do the higher value things that AI can't do.
It's like, how do you stand out in a saturated market?
Yes.
You know, and if you don't learn and you don't grow, nobody wants to get left behind.
What we always say is, it takes 7 to 10 touch points, if not more, before someone decides to reach out to you. So let's say you got a referral. We have a joint friend in common, one of your clients.
Yes.
Lots of referrals out there, right? And he's going to refer people to you, et cetera. But when you get a referral, the first thing you do is you Google or ChatGPT them now, or you put them in you're going to look at their LinkedIn, their Instagram. You're going to look at their website. You're going to look at, have they been in articles? PartySlate will come up. So it's going to be 7 to 10 touch points, even if it's a referral. So what we always say is, make sure those few touch points really tell your story. And earlier you talked about redesigning your website, and it's a very challenging thing because my whole career was large scale Fortune 500 websites. So I
love them. I hate it.
I love websites, and I think it's similar to building a home. It's all about the vision for your website and the strategy before you build. And it's also very hard to find someone that can fulfill that vision.
Very hard.
So it's so hard. So all these touch points are important. And what I say is they have to work together. But just because you have a great Instagram, that is not enough.
No.
You've got to have your home base of your website. You've got to have portfolio sharing tools like PartySlate. There's other platforms out there too. I'm biased, of course. I believe our profile page is the best at showing real events. But you have to have all these touch points to give them the courage to contact you.
What is because it used to be your website was like number one, but it's not. Is it Instagram, or is it, because I learned from you way back on your webinars, LinkedIn. I didn't want to be a LinkedIn loser because I had less than 500 people. And I was like, oh my God, quickly went to LinkedIn and went, invite all these people.
You got to get above 500. You got to have your professional headshot. You have to have your LinkedIn up to date.
Which is the number one now?
It's hard to answer because it's different for every person. So if you are a certain kind of venue, LinkedIn might be a great source of leads, but by far Google, the reason why Google is the biggest company, one of the biggest companies in the world, is people start with Google. So you have to think about your touch point even before they get to those landing pages. So there's a lean back experience that is, Instagram and is TikTok and other platforms. And there's a lean back and lean in. And what I mean by that is there's the scrolling and the kind of early research, which could be social media, but then it's go time when you have your date and you're really looking, and then it turns to Google. So I think you have to look at it as a portfolio. Like, I'm not going to tell you to all put all your money in a risky stock. I think you should have an index fund. You need to have some bonds, depending on your age. You need to have some cash. So if you look about that asset allocation, think about that for your digital portfolio. How do you look when people Google you? That's number one. What are those first touch points? You absolutely have to have a great website. It doesn't have to be big. It could be 4 pages, but it feels like you and it represents who you are, right? That is the most important thing. How do you differentiate? What's your handshake? That is so important. Yeah. Social media, how important that is. I think Instagram is still number one. Yeah. At the same time, LinkedIn, if you do corporate business, even if you don't do corporate business, that is where they see your photo and your name. Yeah. It's always going to be page 1 of Google for your proper name. Yeah. So just make sure that you have a good, decent presence on LinkedIn. Instagram, so important. TikTok. Up and coming. I am not a TikTok person, but I see my kids who are 18 and 20. Can't believe it. I'm going to be empty nester soon. Their use of TikTok amazes me.
Gen Z, it's all TikTok. That's what I get sent in my DMs all the time. TikTok.
Yeah, so you must have a presence that's authentic to you, that is different. It's slightly different than Instagram. So you have to think about that strategy. So I think it's best to look at it as a portfolio. The biggest mistake is putting all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. You cannot do that.
Yeah. And that's going to say, what is the biggest mistake? Is people tend to just concentrate on Instagram. And I know that I did that and kind of didn't really, concentrate on TikTok. So now we're trying to, we're trying to build that up as much as Instagram, but it's a lot. And I can't do it alone. I have my amazing social media girl, Courtney, to do it for me. And that's one thing that I would recommend. And I'm sure you would too, if you can have somebody to do your social media for you.
I do. And one thing we've done for social media managers, whether they're an intern or a consultant or someone on your team, is we made it really easy for you to get those credits for your event formatted for Instagram so that it saves you a lot of time. So you can actually find any photo in your photo hub as long as you have credits there and copy and paste those Instagram formatted credits. And we're also on our roadmap going to do direct integration with Instagram and TikTok and other tools so that you can post directly from your photo hub. So we want to make these time-saving tools so that your content can be where your customers and your prospects are, anywhere from LinkedIn to Instagram to even your website, having our galleries from PartySlate directly integrate with Wix and WordPress and all the other website builders out there. We want to save you time so that your content can be kind of your currency throughout all your touch points.
That'd be amazing. When will that be available? When are you working on that?
I get in trouble for saying dates, but in next quarter.
Okay, next quarter.
We're building our Wix integration, and we're looking into WordPress and other platforms. We'd love to hear from people what platforms are the most important to them. But once we build the general way it works with one of the platforms, we can recreate that. It's all through APIs and integrations that make it really easy to have. These are my top 10 galleries, embed them in my website like that.
Oh my God. Having just gone through like this excruciating experience of 3 years and now hopefully it's going to be my website will be ready in a couple of weeks, hopefully.
Yes. And one thing on the website side, because I've done this for so long, is I look at it as a website as a relationship.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, like when you meet someone at a bar, you're not going to throw a wedding ring at the first person you meet, right? Like you have to build
that's where I've been going wrong.
So you're not going to do that. But what you are going to do is you're going to find some way to have that connection of a handshake.
Yeah.
On your homepage, you have to have this handshake. Who are you? What do you mean to me? Like that intro of like, if you have 30 seconds in an elevator, what is that? And then you're going to build a relationship, like get to know me a little bit about what I do, what my work looks like, my testimonials. And then you want to drive them to inquire and to contact you. I think some people are like, contact me. Don't do that on a website until you've built that relationship. You're always going to have the contact me or inquire as a part of your navigation, but it's really about like the about to the portfolio to what you do. Think of that relationship spectrum. That's what a website should be, but always start with that handshake. Who are you? What do you mean to them? And how do you catch them and draw them in? View my work, see my services. How do I like to work? Testimonials, and then contact. And that's how I like the navigation to run. One other pet peeve I have is using the mobile navigation on desktop. Don't make them click like the hamburger navigation that you have on your mobile phone. It should always be in plain sight. You should be able to see the navigation on the desktop experience, and then a responsive design will flatten that out for your mobile experience.
Oh, that's great. Well, I definitely want you to check mine out before it goes out into the world.
I'm very geeky. I love doing website reviews.
Oh God, I love it. Thank God for people like you.
And also now you can have your favorite, AI tool do that. So do a screenshot of it and throw it into your AI tools and say, pretend you are an engaged couple. What do you think of my website?
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yes, I do stuff like that all the time. You can do screenshots or you can have your developer do that, but act as a luxury high-end couple that are evaluating 3 planners and have it respond back. What are my differentiators? What would make them contact me? What's missing? And have them do a review. They will be even better than Julie Novack doing a review.
We'll get both. I'm going to do both.
Okay, both. Can't hurt.
Oh, before we go, Julie, and I've really loved talking to you. You have such a wealth of information and just, there's so much to learn in this industry and we never stop learning. So thank you for everything that you do for us. And, I'm going to keep listening to your webinars.
Yeah, and we really want feedback from our community.
Yeah.
We know we have a lot to learn and a lot more value to add. Our number one goal is to help you efficiently grow your business by putting your best foot forward with a portfolio of work, whether it's through your public profile page or accessing your photos from years and years of work, so that you can create photo boards that are custom to your client, that are private, or integrating with Canva, Wix, WordPress. How can we help you leverage your visual portfolio to tell your unique story and to help you grow efficiently? Because there's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And if we can
You
help
don't have
save you
time.
time and still have this professional kind of portfolio of digital touch points, that we know our job is well done. And then on the other side, for consumers, for people planning these events, it's hard to know how to differentiate venues and differentiate planners. We want to give you a really, really rich experience on PartySlate that helps you shorten your list. You're not going to like, oh yeah, this is who I'm working with. But if you could create a short list through PartySlate, your job is a little bit easier than visiting 20 venues or interviewing 5 planners. Just create a short list with PartySlate's help.
Yeah. And if you don't have a planner, that's, for people that don't know where to start looking for venues, that's the perfect place and how to do it.
Yes,
and it helps
absolutely.
us as well, because sometimes we forget, oh, there's that place we go in, and it's just so much easier in time. We waste a lot of time. Clients waste a lot of time if they don't hire a planner Googling, and this really cuts
Absolutely.
it down.
We always say start with a planner. If they
Yeah.
start with a venue, the planner must come second.
Yeah.
And we always say that. And we always tell people we're the only platform that has their own navigation. That's how important we feel it is. It's sold, it's put separately as a distinct category, that if you want to actually enjoy your event and accomplish your mission, you must have a planner.
Yeah. So we're going to make it fun and easy and, the best experience ever. That's our job.
One last thing, you want to learn more about PartySlate, obviously go to partyslate.com, but also we launched a new Instagram called PartySlate Pro. And it's actually our industry Instagram, just hot off the presses in 2 weeks. So at PartySlate is our consumer Instagram. So it's really about the leading venues and planners and how to leverage PartySlate. And then PartySlate Pro, we're going to be launching, all our webinar series, interviews. We're going to be a lot of clipping from our interviews that we're doing on our side. And it's a great way to learn what we're launching and industry specific news.
That's wonderful. Well, I know I'm going to be listening to that because I listen to all your webinars and I save them and I go back to them, and if it's really important to always learn and always grow. And thanks to people like you, it's great to have that.
We love this industry and we love the creativity. And if we can add a little geekiness with our digital talks and interviews and business summits that we're doing, we feel good that we're helping the industry.
Yeah, especially us creatives that are more creative than we are technically. Well, I'm technically challenged, but I'm getting so much better.
I'm proud of you of all the technical things you're doing. You launched this podcast. You have a great website coming. Your Instagram is great.
Thank you.
So you're doing great.
Thank you. Just keep going. That's what I say to everyone. Just keep going.
You can do it.
Yes.
You can do it.
Stay on the pitch. That's what my dad always used to say. Stay on the pitch.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie. And thank you for everything that you do for this industry. You really have elevated us all and taught us about digital marketing. And for that, we are extremely thankful. So if you loved this episode, make sure to follow us on all platforms and on Instagram at Charley Bluebell and at The Charley King Show. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Apple's podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And please share this with someone you know who's planning their special day, or maybe they just got engaged. And don't forget to watch out for my Instagram lives each week, where I'll be talking about my up-and-coming guests so you can send me your questions. Until next time, stay fabulous, stay intentional, and remember that the magic doesn't end at the end of the aisle. That's only just the beginning. Till next time, I'm Charley King.
The Charley King Show.